Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Did the hay get in there? I don't know. I think I said it a little prematurely. You might have got like, eh. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, hey, how's everybody doing? How's it going? I said that backwards, but whatever. I don't care, and I don't think you do too. For the 5 people that might even watch this video, or the 30 people, who knows? I don't know. But anyway, I was at Horror-Rama today. It's a horror convention that it's usually done every year in Toronto. I think it's done by Suspect Video. Check them out online. I'm seeing a lot of. I'm going back to the other thing. I got to stop that. I'm gonna negate that habit again for the second time. Let me back up a bit. There we go. And so anyway, I believe it's Suspect Video. Suspect Video was an amazing store in Toronto. They're online now, as far as I know. I don't know too much about them because they're online, and I don't really like buying things online. I never ever do, but I've bought a lot of things from them back in the day. And I think their original store sadly burnt down. It was on Queen Street. There's a massive fire so many years ago, and then they moved to where what used to be Honest Ed's. So if you know Toronto at all, you know Honest Ed's was like a big um, store that sold things very cheaply. It'd been around for decades, but money, condos, and everything else that Toronto is becoming more popular for, and greed, and um, it is no longer there. But I think there's other things involved too. I think the upkeep of the store and the popularity had worn down, and I don't think it was profitable anymore. To be fair, I'm not going to just throw it away to the people building condos and things like that. But I'm getting a little bit off key here. But yeah, check out Suspect Video online. They got all kinds of crazy shit that they sell. Sometimes they have things out of stock, but when they do have stuff, they got some really fucking awesome stuff. So I've I'm not going that far, but a good chunk of my movie museum that I have over in the other room there. A lot of it did come from Suspect Video, so thank you for existing. But anyway, going back to the Horror-Rama today, this is Horror-Rama 2022. To be honest, it was a little bit disappointing compared in terms of the merch and things like that. It was a little bit disappointing. It was 99% movies and people just sort of selling their personal horror theme things, which is cool because that's where I bought this ring several years ago, and I have necklaces and a few other oddities that I've bought at the Horror-Rama shows. So not against that, but I also like to go and try and get like some collectibles and things movie related, non actual DVD, Blu-ray, VHS items that I'm always on the hunt for any sort of Gunnar Hansen Leatherface things. So I do have a few things. I did make a few purchases. I got stuff here I'll go through in a minute. But the celebrity, the guests that were there, it was really kind of cool. In the past, there's only 2 guests. Well, I guess there's a few in the past. I get a little starstruck if I go by myself or don't have a couple drinks first. So a lot of times I'll see the person and I get a little bit like, oh, I don't know. So I'm just weird that way, even though that's why they're there and they're happy to talk to people that come up, as long as you're not, being obnoxious about it and that sort of thing. But Michael Berryman was one, and the other one was, oh boy, forgot his name, but from Night of the Living Dead. Not George Romero, obviously. It was his partner who. It's weird because nine times out of 10 I know everything about this film, and the name is just escaping me now. But not Russ Steiner. Fuck. You know what? It'll come to me later. Hopefully, I'll just randomly shout it out in the middle of the video. Yeah, but also today though I got to meet a few people that it was really kind of cool. I ran into someone I hadn't seen. This guy Ryan, I hadn't seen in a while. I used to know him from just see him at various places around Toronto, and he's an independent filmmaker himself. He's just put out a film about gay wrestlers or something. He told me about it, but I don't really remember too much about it because he was talking to me and a few other people. But I don't even know his last name, so I can't tell you even where to find him and look him up. But keep an eye out. A new movie about gay wrestlers or something. It's a documentary. So and it does have things from WWE and backwards WWF and the other wrestling channels. Franchises and things that are out there. Sorry, I'm drinking beer or blue. I know, right? But it's actually not that bad if it's cold. Anyway, so yeah, I got to meet Thom Matthews, which was great. Like he was such a nice guy, and the thing is, it was funny because he was standing there talking to some other people, and they were chatting away with them and everything. They weren't being obnoxious. It was like a mutual conversation and everything. So I was being patient, and so my nose is kind of running a little bit, but being super patient. And he glanced up at me every few seconds, like not like that, but he would just kind of see me staying there and just little smile, whatever, being super like, hey, yeah, I see you. It's cool. Like, I'm not ignoring you. He's acknowledging me, but I think he's also respecting the fact I'm not jumping in. Hey, nice to meet you. While he's trying to have a conversation, I was waiting and being respectful of him being there, or respectful of him having a conversation. And the second that conversation ended, without batting an eye, without farting around doing something else, finding an excuse just to not talk to me, right away he just right to me and he's like, "Hey, how are you?" or whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something very friendly, very open, and yeah, here, let's talk. You're standing here, let's cool, and really, really sweet, nice, down to earth guy. Very friendly. We chatted about a couple of his movies, the ones I know he's in, obviously. Friday the 13th Part 6, which is my favorite of all the Kane Hodder era Jasons. It's I think it's the last one in the series that I would actually consider to be a horror film. After that, they got a little campy, and it was all about, let's just see how Jason can kill people, which unfortunately most slasher franchises kind of go that way. Not so much with Chainsaw Massacre. Most of Chainsaw Massacre movies just kind of got, well, kind of stupid, but entertaining-ish. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get that. That's not what this video is about. And we were talking about Return of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead 2, and then the fan films he was in, the Friday the 13th fan films he was in, which is Never Hike Alone, where he kind of makes a cameo near the end of the movie, and then Never Hike in the Snow, and then he was telling me they're actually doing another Never Hike Alone film that's coming out, and we were just chatting about that, and really, really sweet guy. One thing though, like, they had gone in there, if you want an autograph or whatever, it was like $40 or something. I'm not paying, unless you're, no offense to anybody that was there, like, if maybe someone from the original surviving cast of Night of the Living Dead, the original 68, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm probably not going to spend $40 on an autograph, and it was $20 for a selfie. Now, the selfie thing, I'm curious if it was just because everybody's got a camera on them, and then every single person that comes up, can I get a selfie? Can I get a selfie? It's easier just slap $20 on there, and maybe they won't, maybe they will. I don't know. I'm not an actor. I'm not in the film industry or anything like that, so I don't know. That's my guess, because I can't see, because before cell phones, it was never an issue. So if it's profiteering, or if it's just a time thing, and then maybe, if I see you outside, can I get a selfie here real quick? Hopefully the actor would be like, yeah, no problem. Like, if but who knows? I don't know. The other person I met today was Lesleh Donaldson. I had to look at her name here for a second because I couldn't remember her last name real quick. But I know her from Curtains and Happy Birthday to Me, and I don't know how old she is now, but she looks exactly the same. Her face is a little bit more mature looking. Her hair's gray, but the way her hair's cut and everything, it suits her, and she is stunning. I was like, wow. I'm looking at a picture of her, and I'm looking. at her while I'm talking to her. I'm like, wow, you look exactly the same, except your hair is different color, and you just look a little older. You just look a little older. I'm sure she gets that all the time with fans and doing these shows, but I was just like mesmerized by her. I was like, wow, you are gorgeous. But she was like super super nice. She was friends with the guy that I knew that I had run into, so it was very easy to talk to her, and you know, and he was like, yeah, and she was looking at me, and I'm just kind of standing there because I wanted to say hi, and when I chatted with her, everything was cool, and such a nice person, really really nice person. And then I got to meet Lynne Griffin. Now she's also in curtains, and I know her from Black Christmas, which is one of my favorite horror films of all time, and is definitely, I would argue, is the best Christmas themed horror film of all time. You have like Christmas Evil and the other one, I can't remember the name of it. And it's such a popular one where Santa Claus, it's not actually Santa Claus, guy dressed as Santa Claus who's the killer. Really decent cult film. Getting dry. I got water here too. But yeah, it's such a great film. And we were chatting about that for a while, and I wasn't really going into the other celebrities like Olivia Hussey and of course Margot Kidder, who went on to become really big, especially Margot Kidder being in Superman and of course Amityville Horror. But she asked what other Christmas movies I like, and we were just sort of chatting. And she asked me, she goes, "How about A Christmas Story?" And at the time, I didn't make the connection. I was just like, "Oh yeah, I really like that movie," And then I was talking about guilty pleasures. I was saying, I like Star Wars Holiday Special, and in terms of bad movies, also Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. We were chatting about that for a minute. She didn't bat an eye when she had mentioned A Christmas Story, but I didn't make the connection until after I left. I started thinking about it, and I realized, holy fuck, Bob Clark. She was making the Bob Clark connection, and Bob Clark directed Black Christmas in 1973 or whenever it was that it had come out, and then A Christmas Story around 1983 or whatever year it came out. And that's what she was getting at, and I did not make that connection until later on, and I felt so, oh my god, why didn't it hit me? Because I knew there was a connection, and it just at that point, I think I was just so into the conversation with her, and I was really like smitten by, not, that's not a word I meant to use, not smitten. I wasn't like, oh my goodness, I'm in love. No, I was so like happy just to be talking to her that it didn't even like click until later on. So yes, if you do see this video, Lynn, I don't think you ever will, but if you happen to see it, yes, it did hit me later on where you were going with that, and I just feel really stupid. Anyway, I just got a message real quick. Let me see. I already know what it's going to say. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Is that what it is? On my way home, yes. That's just Tracy let me know. So I'm going to quickly go through what I got in the box here, what I bought in this bag. Not a lot of stuff. I was really hoping for some Gunnar Hansen merch or something, But first thing I got is it's a reprint of a King Kong poster. It was fairly cheap, so I didn't mind buying it. Got some weird... I don't know what this is taped on here with, but it's on here. I'm gonna have to rip this thing out. Thankfully, it was very nice of the guy who put this on. He seemed really down. I said, "Our sales gonna go." Seemed really miserable. And he also looked really bored. And I think he was upstairs in the area where all the actors and people were. So people probably weren't really taking notice. The only reason I took notice, I saw this King Kong poster because I'm a big fan of the 1933 King Kong, and I saw this go, wow. I don't think it'll ever be on my wall, at least in this place, because there's nowhere to put it, but I really like it. And it wasn't expensive at all. It's a French poster from the French release. he was trying to tell me it was an original poster. It's not an original poster. It's a print, obviously, and I can tell by the paper, and also that it's in mint condition. It was an original poster. It's a print from original poster, but he was, you wouldn't be selling it for the couple bucks I paid for it. It would have been probably hundreds of dollars, or at least $100 at minimum. This is something else I bought. It's a horror movie game. The reason I bought it is because Tracy and I can play it together. It's 2 to 6 players. I have another game that I've been wanting to play. A friend of mine bought it for me like last January or something, and I haven't been able to play it because it's 2 to 4 players, and I don't really get out in crowds of people, like groups of people, even 4 people. And it's an interactive physical game. You have to act out things, and so I haven't really had the opportunity to do that yet. But this one's 2 players, and so should try it out. Probably a bit of fun. So see what goes on. Age is 13 plus, 2 to 6 players. Takes about 25 minutes for gameplay, and 3 minutes to learn. It's very specific. So there's that. What's I got in here? I got it's gonna go up on the shelf. It's just a coaster. I have a couple coasters like this, but the reason I got this one was, first of all, The Shining is my favorite movie of all time. Most people know that. Not my favorite horror movie of all time, because I don't consider The Shining a horror movie. To me, it's a psychological thriller, but I love this movie. And everybody gets pictures of Jack or Wendy and the iconic scenes. This is an actually very iconic scene. And but you don't really see a lot of pictures of Danny, or even Danny Lloyd stopped acting. I think he did one other film after this, one other role, and so you don't really see a lot of stuff with him on it. So that's why I grabbed this. You see the Grady sisters, or the Grady twins. They're not really twins, but the Grady sisters a lot. But this one here, is like, I want to get that, because you don't see Danny really in a lot of stuff, even though he's the most pivotal character outside of Jack himself in the whole film, So what else I got here? A couple flyers. This one here is for that film was talking about. Never, the fan film Never Hike Alone. And then on the other side is Never Hike in the Snow. I was talking about earlier. What else I got here? I got this is for Never Hike Alone 2. That Thom Matthews was talking about. So that should be really cool. Yeah, that's the back. I'll scan that. I'll see what comes up. And just some things. This is a publishing company. I don't know if you want to check them out. Show that there. And what else we got here? We got Vinegar Syndrome. That was true. So I grabbed some cards from different people, but can't remember who was selling what time. But check them out, whatever they are. Scan that if you can. See what goes on. I don't know. And this is what was this one? This is this is the same thing as the publishers. I don't know. Anyway, Dundas Street West. Check this out. Wherever these are. There's a couple things. I don't mind promoting independent businesses and stuff. So check it out. And what is this? This is Scary Mary, Freak Maker. I don't know. Check that out too. Whoever they are. Like I said, I just grabbed the cards if they have something interesting going on. I think. Oh, I know what this was. It was actually a really cool thing. They're taking like insects and things, and then like it says clockwork stuff. So it's actually really cool kind of thing they have going on. And then a couple buttons I grabbed. She sold them to me cheap. So the only Gunnar Hansen merch I can get was this button. Like literally, like there was nothing there. Like I've gone and I've seen things where they've had toys and figures and dolls, and I've bought like a lot of well, not a lot. I don't have a massive collection of Gunnar Hansen stuff, but I have a decent collection, and I've bought a few things from Horror-Rama. But this is the only thing I could find, and I had to dig for it through a box of buttons. And then I also bought this. Now, this seems unassuming to most people because you might not understand what it is, but to true Shining fans, you will know what this is. You will look at that right away, because I knew right away what I was looking at. And true Shining fans would look at that. And what it is people always know the carpet pattern in that you see throughout the film, or in a lot of places in the film, especially that picture of right here. Actually, yeah, I got it right here. People know this one. That carpet pattern. It's been used in other films as homages and things like that. But true fans know what that is, and what that carpet pattern, because that is a carpet pattern from the film. So I know I don't have enough followers and enough people responding that will tell me. I could say, yeah, if you know what it is, put it down below. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not that famous. I'm not famous. But this is the carpet pattern from the infamous party in the parking lot, apparently. The infamous 237 hotel room, and that's the carpet on the floor in that scene. So that's what that is, and that's why I bought it, because it wasn't that carpet pattern that you see everywhere. They did have a badge of this, but I was just like, I didn't even think to buy it because it wasn't that interesting. But when I saw this, I was like, I gotta get this, because if I wear this somewhere, I will know horror fans right away, or at least Shining fans, because they will see this and they'll go, is that from The Shining? The hotel room? But anyway, thanks for watching. It's Horror-Rama 2022 that I went to. Like I said, the vendors, tons of movies, lots of movies, but I'm trying to avoid buying movies. I like to buy collectibles and statues, so it was a little disappointing on that end, but the stars and the actors that were there were phenomenal. Everybody was nice, had a good time, and check it out next year. And I advise, if you're into horror movies, go check it out, and I'll call an end to this one, and until the next one, bye.